Hi Virgo, this is your January 2019 General Tarotscope reading. Happy New Year's to you guys. I hope you had a wonderful 2018. I am going to do this reading in two sections. The first one's a general temperature check, and the second one is a week-by-week breakdown of the month of January. We'll draw clarifiers as we need to. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if this does not resonate with you, check your sun, rising, moon, whichever placements you would like to do here. Alright, so... Okay. Struggled a little bit with that. Okay. So where we are now, we've got the Six of Pentacles, where we were in the past, Eight of Swords. Emotionally, we're ready to party. We have the Three of Cups and Ace of Wands. Well, we will see. Okay, so the placement for this, we have where we are in the recent past, and I apologize for the noise in the back. I have a dog playing. In the near future, we have the Ace of Wands. Emotionally, we are the Three of Cups, and then we have the High Priest in where we are in our headspace. Where we are currently in general is the Six of Pentacles. So what I'm getting so far is we are moving away from the idea that we need to be at a particular place financially. Perhaps there's plans that you wanted to have accomplished by now and it didn't happen. And the reason that I said is because Eight of Swords is a woman that is tied and has swords around her, but nothing's like behind her, so she can literally walk behind, untie herself, and get going. So it may be also something institutional since that is coming in for me right now, perhaps like school. You may not be happy with where you were at school, or didn't graduate on time and you need to extend it, or anything like that. That could be the case. Where we are emotionally, like I said, is we are ready to party. There could be, it makes sense. Tonight is New Year's Eve, so that's where all the parties are at. Perhaps like New Year, New Me kind of thing, where you want to go out and meet people. Or there could be wanting to meet somebody. And this is going to be a little bit inappropriate, but that may lead to the near future, which is the Ace of Wands, and so you might have some fun for the night, or like a exciting fling that comes up with a fire sign. If that is not the case, which, if it is, more power to you. Love it. Love to hear it. Live your best life. You are starting on a new venture. And the way that you are approaching this, you could be working with a Taurus, or not working with, but talking to, thinking of, feeling for, whichever, for a Taurus or the High Priest, which is a card of, tradition as well, structure, organization. So you may be using that combined with the Six of Pentacles, a card of giving and receiving, to be able to move forward on your new endeavors. Okay? What else am I getting here so far? Oh, let's get some clarifiers. Virgo. Wow, look at that. So we've got the Empress and the High Priest. So you may be thinking of getting pregnant. You may be pregnant, or, where you are mentally right now is such an amazing place for you to be. Like everything that you're thinking of, yes, that is exactly what you need to be thinking of. And I mean this in terms of, the things that you're going to accomplish, the things that you're inviting into your life in terms of where you are financially, where you are romantically, getting a new place, moving out, getting a car, anything like that. You're on the right track, you'll have it. You may have money that came in, perhaps like an end of year bonus, or you may be asking for a large amount of money in order to move forward with your project here. Yeah, because you are pregnant with opportunity, and you will take this opportunity and, approach it in a very structured, methodical way. Okay? Moving forward in the near future, we do have this Ace of Wands, and then we have the Queen of Swords that follows or clarifies. So what I'm seeing is we've got a project, a task, job maybe, and the way that you are approaching this is like this badass Queen of Swords here. She's like, come at me, give me what you will, but like I have my eyes on the prize, right? So if we move this way here, we see that she is beckoning for any and all challenges in regards to this challenge here, or this opportunity, or fire sign even. You may be working with a fire sign. And by working, I mean like dating or being interested in, or you may actually be working with them. Okay. Emotionally, we've got the Death that follows the Three of Cups. So I am getting that you are going to be spending time surrounding yourself with people that love you in order to help you in this transformation, to move away from these debilitating thoughts that make you think you're not worthy. And in order for you to embody the High Priest and the Empress, or the Hierophant and the Empress energy, to be that Queen of Swords is just taking on this like new, it's new and it's action. So, you have to be able to do this new thing, right? This group is going to help you get through this transformation. Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of vibe. But it's going to be so beautiful because you have a sunrise for this new opportunity, this new venture, this new job. Maybe you applied several weeks ago and you never heard back and suddenly you got the job, right? Or you got an interview request or something like that. Let's get one for the Six of Pentacles. So I don't know how much of this is really in regards to a relationship. This may not be what's on your mind right now. You may be in a relationship, but it's not top priority in terms of what your goals are. And by that, you could be married and your biggest focus is, I'm going to have my credit score at 720 this year. That kind of thing. So we have the Six of Pentacles and clarified by the Nine of Cups. So either you came across, like I said, some kind of financial gain, or in a position to give financially. And the biggest focus is right now, you're big on your self-sufficiency emotionally, right? Like if you want to look for your other half, you can, but why do you want half a human, right? So in your quest to eventually find the person that you'll be in a relationship with, your ideal partner, you want to focus on loving yourself, because that person's going to be a mirror, right? So you want them to love yourself so they can love you. You can only give as much as you've got. So that is probably where I'm seeing this tie in with the Three of Cups, right? So you may be almost there, but you need your friends to support, or you want your friends to support you, right? And that's what's going to drive this transformation, to be this person that's just kind of like beautiful and flowing, and I'm getting a lot of feminine energy here. So just like very in tune with your femininity, and you don't need to be a female to have the femininity. It's more just like your emotions and what is important to you and things like that, and being able to do things boldly but with love, right? And so that's probably the motto that I want to say is where you are now. And reminder, this is a temperature check, so this may be the vibe for several months, it may be the vibe for a day, but that's kind of what I'm getting. I do not see heartbreak. I don't see really any loss. It's more like you are 100% working on yourself, and you are your project, and Virgo is very hard on themselves. So let your friends walk you through this. Any kind of Virgo placement, right? Have your friends help you if they want to, and if you want to accept their help, right? Because you can lead a horse to water, can't force it to drink. So that's what we got. I won't take up too much time there. Let's move on to what January is going to be looking like, and we're breaking this week by week. There's 5 weeks in January. We'll have a card for each and draw clarifiers as necessary. And also, if the reading is, for example, too much on career, I'll pull some cards for love, and vice versa as well. I also have the Romance Angels card so that we can take a look at that if it just doesn't come up at all. Okay, that is a not common thing. So mentally, our headspace in the month of January, we are the Magician, which is so beautiful, coming off of the wave we just got in the temperature check spread that we just did. So no card is actually been shown. Okay, that's enough. So we've got the Magician. You're definitely in an opportunity to manifest your desires. In our emotional space, we have the Three of Pentacles. So you're working on your craft. You're working on yourself, more importantly. Interesting. Are you dealing with a Taurus, my friend? You might be. Yeah, definitely. Because they got the same card, Page of Wands. They also got Three of Pentacles. They got Emperor. And they had Sword energy at the end of the month. So you might want to look at that one and see if it applies. So mentally, like I said, our headspace, we're the Magician. So you have all of the power that you need to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. This card is fantastic. It's the beginning of a cycle. It makes sense. It's the first month of the year, or a new journey. I mean, it's the first month of the year. And so basically, if you decide I'm going to make X amount of money and I am going to feel this way at work, you will have it. If you do not ask for it, if you not work on manifesting this and have the steps laid down to get there, you won't. So this is, and you know this because this card comes up for the entirety of January for where you are mentally. You know this to be true, and so you're putting in the work to get there, which is why emotionally we are the Three of Pentacles, which is the apprentice. He's working on fine-tuning his craft. So the first week we have the Emperor. You could be working with an Aries, or you may be embodying this energy of just going about things very methodically, logically, and understanding that you are 100% control in what happens to you. The following week, I'm kind of getting father figure too for some reason, so you may be dealing with your dad. Something comes up there. The High Priest we've got for the second week, so this is Taurus energy. You may be going back down to the basics in terms of what is structurally and institutionally important to you, and by that I mean, do you prefer corporate or do you want to work from home for yourself? Do you want to be married or do you want to just, chill and see what happens? Do you want to be in a particular position or do you want to have a career switch? That kind of thing. Those things that are much bigger than just what we do on a day-to-day basis, right? There may be some kind of religious event that happens this week. Since this is a High Priestess, it could also be like the Pope kind of thing. I know I was raised Catholic, but I don't really know any of the holidays anymore. So if there is anything going on, that could be it. The first 2 weeks are very important in January. Just know that everything that happens there is going to set you up for the rest of the year. Now, if something shitty happens in the first 2 weeks, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. It's part of the process, okay? Week 3, we've got the Page of Wands. So you may be going off of these really strong energies here, and you may deal with someone that's younger than you, or younger in terms of how they act and behaviors, where they're going to come off, and I mentioned this in another video, innocently arrogant. It's like, you have not lived. Like, you should not be saying opinions on this whatever situation, right? It's kind of the energy that I'm getting with this card. This could also be, on the flip side, because we're so excited about all this work that we're doing, could be the start of this new project. The project hasn't fully gone out yet, right? So you may be thinking of starting a blog or a newsletter, or selling some things on the side, like maybe you're crafty and you want to sell those on an Etsy shop. This is when you start to plan for it, and you will execute at the end of the month, because we have an Ace of Swords. We'll get there in a second. We have the Two of Cups, week 4 of January. So this could be a really great time for you in a relationship, you and your partner. It can be a partner. I'll draw some cards to clarify, but I want to say this is more so for yourself, where you've done 3 weeks and you're probably going to sit there and you're going to analyze. You're going to say, okay, it's been 3 weeks. What do we think so far? It takes 12 days to start or break a habit. So you may be examining that, right? And you're going to be very proud of where you are because of all the work that you're doing via the Three of Pentacles and the Magician. Last week we have the Ace of Swords. So this is a start in creativity. This is conversations that start to happen, communications that come in moving forward. But this is mostly intellectual. So you're definitely doing strides this month, Virgo. This is a fantastic reading. So I'm going to draw, and I'm talking a lot, but I'm kind of channeling a lot too. So just bear with me there. You can always slow it down. Thank God I figured out that feature on YouTube. So week 1, we are clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So your focus week 1 is on your money and balance, finding balance. So you may be wondering, can I have both my career and my relationship? The answer is yes. Obviously, you can have your cake and eat it too, contrary to popular belief. So you're going to be fine. You may be struggling this week, but remember that the overarching energy that you have is going to be the Emperor. Another thing that may be the situation here is that it may be in areas that you're dealing with, or the father figure that I mentioned, and you're trying to balance your own goals and their interactions, right? So, example, I can't always talk about my goals with my parent because they will sometimes conflict. right? Their trajectory that they had envisioned for me is very different from what I actually ended up pursuing. And so, for me, it was difficult to find that balance. It could be something like that, or it could be, I work a lot and I'm putting in a lot of extra hours to try and build this and get the money that I need. So I'm sacrificing time that I need to spend with my loved one. Or, I am really developing my relationship. And so I kind of want to spend more time here and not spend so much time at work. Whichever it is, you can find that balance. Week 2, we have the Two of Swords that clarified the High Priest. So whichever institutional thing this is, whichever event happens, week 2, just know it's not that big of a deal. It's possible that you may have overthought things and you expected things to go a certain way, or you're suddenly disappointed, but you feel at a loss, like you have to make a choice. If you just remove your blindfold, no one's there, put your sword down and remove the blindfold, you'll see exactly what it is that you need to do. What is the best option? Now, if you still can't make a decision, don't worry about it. Maybe you don't need to make a decision yet, right? Take your time. Who's in a hurry? The Page of Wands energy, week 3, is clarified by the Knight of Cups, so we may have a new beginning starting this week, which makes sense with what I had previously said of starting that ball to move towards the the project that you're trying to, or getting the ball rolling, right? Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm getting here. You may be receiving an offer from someone romantically. You may be working with fire and water signs. We've got all of the elements here, so you're going to be surrounded by people, although your focus is not going to be other people, it's going to be on yourself. So this thing, and so that's kind of it for week 3. You're just kind of blow over it. This is kind of around the time when we start to switch into Aquarius season, so that may have something to do with it, the change in energies there. We've got the Two of Cups clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So she is pregnant with opportunity financially, materialistically, professionally, however you want to see it. Also focused on the home. So you might start to see the opportunities for money in the development of your project or new endeavor. And we start to see this actually materialize with the Page of Pentacles, clarifying the Ace of Swords. So this thing that you start, this communication that happens, or this thing that you launch, ends up starting slowly, but starting nonetheless. Okay, there may be kinks that you still need to figure out. Perhaps not all of the I's were dotted or the T's crossed, which will be fine. You don't have anything to worry about. As a clarifier for the Three of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So money is on your mind. I love it. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles clarifying the Magician. So yeah, your biggest thing is stability right now. And shoot, 2019 is a year for it, right? Any year is a year for it, by the way. So that's kind of what you're reading. Let me see if I'm channeling anything else. My biggest thing right here, the Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, you don't need to struggle, Virgo. You don't. You don't, and I mean that in the most loving way possible. This balance is possible without you needing to overthink it. I'm a Gemini. I know I am a head case sometimes. There's scenarios that I create that will never happen. Do I know this? Yes. Do I do it? Yeah. You don't have to do this though, right? Like these things that you want to have come into your life, the Magician, Ace of Pentacles, the Emperor, all of these energies of strength and fortitude, you don't need to compromise any of this because of something that you were worried about. Stop doing that. Don't worry, you'll be fine. You will. You're learning because you also have your friends to help you. I'm also available for a reading. Shameless plug. So yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing. That's my biggest thing that I'm seeing here, and I guess hearing. Let's do your love reading, or your love cards here. I'm gonna draw 3. I'm gonna check in on my Virgo friends and see how they're doing. I just kind of want to make sure to drive that point home that you don't need to psychoanalyze yourself. You are perfect how you are. Everybody can grow and be better, but take it easy. Card 1, forgiving and learning. 2, reconciliation, past life relationship. So your focus may be on material things like work and career and self-sustainability because of a relationship you're getting over or moving on from. You need to forgive and learn from it for yourself. Sometimes this card will come up and people think that they need to forgive that other person. Sometimes that's the case, but most importantly, you need to forgive yourself for maybe not seeing or not wanting to see situations that would cause concern later down the line, or characteristics or behaviors. Forgive yourself that it happened, you know, that kind of thing. That's always the thing that will bring you down, of really not accepting that we are human and will make mistakes. Although realistically, mistakes are just lessons, right? So as you release and heal from the past, you will experience more love in your present moments. So I want to say that given the first spread and the second spread that we did, there's a lot of that internalization of perhaps the idea of failure that you are not letting go of, and you'll be able to by reaching out, asking for help, or really just sitting down and thinking about, you know, what is it about you that, or your patterns and behaviors that are perpetuating these kinds of things from happening over and over again, identifying the lesson, acknowledging, and moving on from it, right? There is a reconciliation that happens. So maybe there is something that happens with another person, and then you guys get back together. Amazing. It is going to be someone from their past, though, because past life relationship comes in here. You may be having to revisit someone from the past. Maybe you don't actually, you don't actually get back together, but it could be the case. You may be hearing from someone again, but it's really important that you forgive all parties involved, regardless of what it was that happened. Doesn't mean forget. But, you know, do things, like I said, do things with love. Do things with love, and you'll be okay. Love yourself first. I'm also kind of seeing that if there isn't a reconciliation, that there's someone that you feel like you recognize. And this is very possible, you know, like when you meet your familiars, it could be, you know, someone that you come across and you're just like, have I met you before? And it's like, no, we've never met, but you feel like you have. That could be something too, right? Like you just vibe together. So that's something. And, you know, if that's the case, the reconciliation is for yourself. Like learn to love yourself and put yourself first, right? That relationship is the most important. So I'm going to wrap this up. I will see you guys next month. Please remember to comment, like, share, subscribe, all the above. And I will see you guys next month. Also, readings are $30 this month. Forgot to mention that. So if you would like to reach me, that information will be in the comment box below. See you guys in February.